Hello, friend. Welcome to Determined to Shine, where we use the magic formula of creativity, spiritual connection, and community to bring forth joy in our lives. I am Allison, and I am so excited that you are here today because I'm going to be sharing with you a deck that has been bringing me a ton of joy, as well as spiritual connection and creativity, which is the Chakra Sirens Energy Healing Cards by Kelly Flanagan. This is an independent deck that I just stumbled upon somehow a couple of months ago. I hadn't heard anything about it, but I had to order it immediately because I love everything ocean and everything chakra when it comes to oracle cards. And I have been playing with it for the past couple of months, and it is becoming a real favorite deck. And I really still don't see anyone talking about it, so I wanted to just do a video so that you guys can see what an amazing deck this is. And whether you choose to get it or not is great. I'm going to show you the cards. I'm going to show you how I work with the cards. I'm going to show you how I've done some creative modifications and all the magic. So let's dive in. Okay. So it comes in this nice quality tin box. I will confess, I'm not using the tin box to store the deck. I've been keeping them in a satin deck bag that I got online just because it works better for me, but I did keep the tin just so I could show you. And then just know as I'm flipping through that these rainbow edges were my doing. When the deck arrives, it does come all the cards with this white border, but I will get to that in a minute. So this is an independent deck. It's a pretty glossy cardstock. It's a nice quality, and it's an especially nice quality for an independent deck that only costs $30. And that's an amazing price point for an independent release. So I just was really impressed with that. So you get the About the Author and Artist card there. And then I just want to read this a little bit here before we kind of dive in, because it really explains kind of the theme behind this deck. So there's a quote at the top that says, "You are connected to the sea, no matter where on the earth you live." And I really feel that like in my soul, because I consider myself a water baby. My favorite smell is like saltwater air. I love being by the ocean. I love being by the river. I love being by the lake. I love everything about water. And I live in a totally landlocked state, and I am moving shortly, as many of you know, to New Mexico, which is a desert. So I'm glad to have my Chakra Sirens to take with me. So the introduction to the deck says, "The modern day siren is an archetype that embodies the spirit of the sea. It is applicable to anyone who can dive below the surface of their intellect to explore the depths of their inner world for the purpose of self-healing and personal empowerment." Love it. The Chakra Sirens Energy Healing Cards are designed to guide you to access your intuition and reveal the hidden wisdom that lies beneath the surface of your conscious mind. They will help you discover a whole new world. A whole new world. Sorry, okay. I'll stop singing, maybe. A world within yourself where you tap into your personal power to make life choices that will take you to greater levels of peace, happiness, and fulfillment while expressing your most authentic and creative self. And that sums it up. I really think this is a great deck for diving deep. And like I said, I'm going to talk about that. And then there is some information on how to clear the cards, if that's a thing you'd like to do in a very specific way for this deck. I have my own process, of course, where I use my selenite wand along with Reiki and some other things. And then there's a great easy energy layout, which is a 3-card spread. I apologize, my hands are extra tremory today. That's the life of MS, as you know. And then it has a really neat chakra layout, which gives you a whole 7-card reading specific to the chakras in these cards. So these are really worth keeping around. Like they're good cards to have around. And I actually use this deck with Reiki a lot, which again, I will talk about shortly. But I do want to look at the cards first. So in typical, deck review fashion. So here's the card back. This is, of course, the only thing I would change about the deck is that we know I just don't love it when decks have the name of the deck on the back. I prefer a deck without text, but small criticism. It's a shiny matte cardstock. A shiny glossy cardstock. Hello. But I don't consider it like annoyingly glossy, and it does shuffle really well. And then I put these back in order for you so I could show you how they fit together. You get 7 cards for each chakra. So starting with the root chakra, I'm going to actually keep these down so I'm not shaking the cards as we go. So you have the root chakra, you have a siren, you have a keyword alive, and then an affirmation. I swim where my soul feels the most alive. I love that. Balance. The waves of the sea balance me. And what I like is, you know, again, this is obviously a water-themed deck, but I really feel like these are still root chakra cards and affirmations. Like, we think of water energy as very flowy and not grounded, and that's just not my experience. And that's what I love about this deck, is that we can go to the depths, right? Family, a pod that plays together stays together. Of course, have some dolphins, which is fantastic. Instinct. I trust my natural instinct to navigate the sea of life. Loyalty. Wherever my heart is, that is where I find my treasure. Security. I may be tossed by the waves, but I do not sink. I love that card. This one has come up for me a lot. And support. When I stop struggling, I will float. How often does that happen, right? Like, we just have to let go of our addiction to struggle. And that's societally true, right? Like, we're taught to kind of value pain and value the struggle. And so often, if we can let go of that narrative, we can do really well. So that is one chakra set, okay? So I'm going to show you the other cards. I'm not necessarily going to read them all. I'm going to read some of them, but I just wanted you to have a sense of what a whole chakra set looks like. So I do love this one as we go into the sacral chakra. Rainbows and mermaids are proof that imagination and beauty go hand in hand. Heck yes. And we have connected, creative, fun. Oh, see, I said I'd stop singing and I lied. Optimistic, pleasure, respect. Ocean takes care of me and I return the favor. I love that. And so you can see the keywords and affirmations are really great and do apply to the particular chakra you're working with, right? So solar plexus, where this is one of my personally weakest chakras, where our kind of personal power and our confidence comes from. As much as I love to talk and I love to, be authentic, and I really pride myself on not editing out mistakes and being really who I am and not being afraid of that, I can still tell you that I started this video over at least 10 times, right? What's that about? I don't know. So just accepting ourselves, right? The ocean breeze puts my heart, mind, and soul at ease. Just relaxing into that. I love it. Adventurous, authentic. Again, just talking about that. The waves of judgment won't wash away my authentic self, because ultimately I have to show up authentically. I think the goal for all of us in life, right? Show up authentically, trust in who we are, and what other people think about us is none of our business. You guys should see some of the comments I have gotten on my videos. Someone called me the C word a month ago, and I was just what on earth? People are weird, but I know who I am, right? Confidence. Give me the sand, give me the sea. I will be who I want to be. Genuine. I am full of untamed magic, like the ocean. I read that backwards, but you get the idea. Joy, and power. Isn't it interesting? I feel like the solar plexus chakra is so much of who I am and who I try to show up as in the world, but yet it's often the one I have to work on the hardest, right? Okay. The heart chakra. My heart is my compass. Alignment, generosity, love, of course, peace, trust, understanding, unity. I am one drop, but together we are an ocean. That's beautiful. And the throat chakra. Okay, so we have artistic, bliss, communication, of course, that is required as a throat chakra card. Expressive, gifts, honesty. When I listen, I can hear the ocean speak the truth, right? Just about slowing down. Like I've noticed, like I will own it. I'm really, really addicted to using my cell phone all the time. Like I'm totally tied to it in ways I do not want to be, and I'm working really hard at it. But so often I think we're just distracting ourselves. Like for me, it's because I don't want to acknowledge or feel like whatever emotion is coming up or pain in my body. So I have to really slow down and allow myself to listen so I can hear that truth of myself, right? Of my own heart. All right, share. And then we have the third eye. Conviction. I will never stop kissing the shoreline, no matter how many times the sea sends me away. That's beautiful. Guidance. In the waves of change, I find my true direction. The only thing that we all have to deal with all the time is change. So, great, great card. Higher self. Whatever I lose, it is always myself. I find it in the sea. I love that. Insight. Intuition. Vision. I can see higher than the sky and deeper than the ocean. And wisdom. And then finally we have the crown chakra. So we have conscious, divine. Whenever I am near the ocean, I feel the magic of the universe. So true. Enlightenment. I am the entire ocean in just one drop. Integrity. I swim with integrity, even when against the tide. It's extra important in the world right now. Oneness. Presence. I will seize the day. Every once in a while we get a nice little pun in there. And source. Grace finds me in the deepest waters. So those are the cards, and I think they are, like I said, super beautiful, a little deceiving because these are like deep cards. And you know what I like about this is that the focus is really on the message, and there's so much symbolism in the background of each of these cards. Like we didn't totally talk about that when we were going through, but there's sacred geometry here. There's certainly color therapy and a lot of really amazing things happening in the background. And I actually really like that the image of the mermaid or the siren is a silhouette because, one, anybody can find themselves in that, right? Perhaps not, I mean, all of the sirens are, you know, I guess female presenting, but it is done as an archetype. So there's not skin or hair color or those kind of things. And then the other thing I like is that you just do get to focus more on the symbolism and the text, because I feel like if these were fully illustrated mermaids or sirens, I would be really drawn to look at that and I would miss the message. And I don't want that to happen, especially with this deck. So I use this deck in a couple of ways. One, like, of course, it works great as an affirmation deck or simply like what's going on right now, what do I need to know? Like this is my shuffle motion, right? Like shuffle, etc. The other thing I like to do is go a chakra at a time. Like you can pull one for each chakra, or if I know that a certain chakra is blocked, then I love pulling a card to kind of get like what's the medicine I need right now? What's the message I'm missing? And so this is how I love to use this deck with Reiki. Like when I am practicing Reiki and I notice a blockage in an area for myself or for someone else that I'm performing Reiki on, then I can get this message for me or for that person. And it's a really beautiful complement to a Reiki practice. And I guess in some ways you could do that with any deck, but this deck just like feels really energetically charged, like it was made to complement that. So I really like using it with my Reiki work and with crystals and those things because it just all fits together really beautifully. It's also great to work with alongside tarot. So yeah. So what I did here is, of course, you can see that I edged the deck to match each chakra. So I just took a red marker for these first 7 cards, went all the way around, and then repeated for each color. So when they are in order by chakra, you see this you know, stacked rainbow in order. When I shuffle them all together, they are all mixed up, and that's really beautiful too. I edge my decks with Crayola markers and just the wide tipped, same ones we used in elementary school. And they turn out really beautifully. And I really love kind of the meditative experience of doing that. And because you can connect to the cards more deeply. And I love the finished product, and it just makes it even more your own. Plus, like, when I can fan that out and you can see those colored edges, like, oh, how beautiful is that? It's amazing. It also helps me find what card I'm looking for really easily, because while I do shuffle this all together sometimes, I really quite often just pull the chakra I want to work with. Like, you know, like I said, if I've done a Reiki session and I know that, you know, my solar plexus is struggling along with, say, my throat, then I might just pull those two sets of cards out and like pull one from each. And what's great about there being 7 cards for each is you can still shuffle them and get a random message, but you know it'll be related to that issue. So that's kind of how I like to use those. And then again, these spreads in here are really great. And this how to give a reading card, this easy energy layout of 1, 2, 3, what's blocking you, where do you need to focus your attention, and what will get your energy flowing. It is a fantastic spread. I really, really enjoy it. So actually, because I want to do a reading with you, I've been trying to do more of that in my deck videos, so you can get a chance to kind of see how those go together. Like, let's just do a little reading here. And we're going to ask those 3 questions. So I am going to shuffle this all up together. This is going to take me some time. So it's a good thing I tend to pull intuitively anyway. But this deck probably could be riffle shuffled, which might be faster. But like, well, let's just see what happens, because I'm a really terrible riffle shuffler. So I don't think it'll work, but not because of the cards, because of me. So let's see if we can laugh. Okay, that's like the best riffle shuffle I've ever done in my entire life. So joke's on me. Apparently, like the one time I tried to do it on camera, right? But I do just kind of want to mix up. You can see it's a bit like root heavy in certain areas, so we can mix it together. But you can see how they start to mix together and those edges still look really, really fun. So go ahead and quiet your heart right now as we prepare for the reading. And think about where you're feeling stuck or what's going on. Like, I know I personally have been struggling a bit. So you can see I'm not shuffling those very well with that riffle. So like maybe they didn't explode, but still not the best shuffler. And that, I would love to blame that on my MS, but I've never been a good shuffler. Okay, I digress. Let us return. Think about where you're feeling stuck. Take a breath, take a moment, take a pause, and just kind of ask that whatever comes through right now is a good message for you. Like whether you are watching this the day I post it, or a year later, or however long, this message in this moment is for your heart and mine too, I am sure. So let's have a look. So the first question we are going to look at is, what is blocking you? Honesty. And this is so interesting, right? We talked about this card earlier. When I listen, I can hear the ocean speak the truth. This is fascinating. So my first hit off this card, of course, for what is blocking you, or what is blocking me, if I'm looking at it as a personal reading, is like, where am I lying to myself? Like, if there's an honesty issue with someone else in your life that you're aware of, like, look at that. But really for me, like, where am I not being honest with myself? Where are my needs not being met? What am I saying is fine that's not fine? Any of us ever been there, right? Like, we do that thing where we're like, oh, I'm fine, everything's great. And so where are you being dishonest with yourself? And what do you need to slow down and listen to, right? Okay, card 2 on the spread is, where do you need to focus your attention? Conscious. So I have an ocean of pure consciousness within me. Well, I love that, right? Because they're going to fit together here, right? Like, if I'm not being honest with myself, it's often about, like when I talked earlier about being addicted to the struggle, like, you know, I'll keep saying like that everything's fine or that it's not fine, but I'm holding on to some deep-rooted anger or something else going on. And, you know, if I can focus my attention to what I'm actually capable of and what I can actually do, and the fact that, like, you know, we are, each of us, divinely created beings of light and joy and energy and magic that are living in human bodies, creating emotions and lies and all this weirdness. Like, if I can focus on that and get truthful with myself, we can create some magic, right? And then the final question on this easy energy layout is, what will get your energy flowing? Power. When I think I am broken, I remember that nothing can break an ocean. Okay. You can't make this stuff up, right? Like, that's what, so you hear that so often in the spiritual community, because it just blows my mind, right? So I'm talking about how I'm lying to myself because I think everything's fine when it's not fine, and looking at what I'm actually capable of in this divine life. And then how do I get my energy flowing again, right? It's to embody that power and remember that I'm not broken. And then when I can harness this, that's how I can be honest with myself and get to here, right? Like, it's all circular. So I love that. So you can see why I love this spread. It's also great with tarot and other oracle cards, but I especially love it with this deck. So hopefully you got a sense of why I am in love with the Chakra Sirens and all this magic in an independent deck for just $29.99. Okay, I am not compensated. The creator of the deck doesn't even know I'm doing this video. Like, you know, whatever. But I'm in love with the deck. It's beautiful. It's so me. It's everything I love. And it is just really powerful. And I've been very, very happy with it. So, all the things you should know from here, right? If you want to get this deck or learn more, you can find the link in the description box below, but I believe it's just chakrasirens.com. Also below, I will share the link for upcoming classes and events with me. I have a Reiki training coming up in just about a week and a half. I do have a couple of spots still left, so if you're interested in exploring that Reiki energy and how to work with it, I would love to have you in my upcoming program. I also have a class on selenite wands and a class on oracle cards that are super affordable, so I'll put those links there for you as well. So that is the Chakra Sirens. I hope you love it like I do. It's beautiful. And I just want to thank Kelly Flanagan for putting it into the world, because this deck has helped me a lot. And even right now, like, I'm in kind of a spot, like, I've been going through some things, and so just doing this reading with you is really, really healing for my heart today. And yeah, so there's your magic of the day. So please remember, I always, I love to tell you this. I think it's really important that you know that if you're stuck in some darkness or some depths, like, the light is coming. The light is there for you. You aren't alone. And things do get better. So I am sending all my love to you. Know that the world is better because you are here. And I hope that you have an amazing, magical day. And until next time, may you always remain determined to shine. I love you.